And we're back to another episode of Let's Play Wild Arms 2 Second Ignition. I'm your host, the RPG Guy. And it looks like we've got some things to do. Specifically, before we go to the abandoned mine, we can pick up 3 new mediums. Strangely enough, they're for Tim. I don't really consider them being for really anyone else. Alright, so what we need to do here is, this is Dark Reason, but you can't completely see where you're going, and this is going to be where the trouble begins. You can't really, as I said, you can't see where you're going. So what you want to know what you're doing is you want to go, whoops! Okay, I want to make sure I'm going the right way. We want to go this way. Whew. It's fine. And then what we want to do is, this one's a little bit more convoluted, but we want to go, there's like, okay. Ah, damn it. Okay, so for this one, there's like 4 doors. Can't see them all. It's this one that's right over here. Okay, and then, oh no! Come on, you bastard. There, and there. Woo, there it is. After we're going to collect 3 of them, so I'm not even going to bother taking a look at what they can do until we grab all 3, and then I'll talk about which ones we should really focus on learning. So we got Latia Salk, Laetia Stalk or something like that. Yeah, you can't run back, you just got to walk it. Because you'll fall in the hole before you get a chance to spawn. Now you gotta make your way out of here. Don't worry, it's not that bad. It's pretty much remembering the way you came, for the most part. Ah, damn it. No. Oh, almost fell. And we are out of here. That's not too bad. There's no treasures in that particular one. Of 2 of these locations, there's not going to be items to find, so don't bother too much with that. Alright, our next stop is the town of Helmets. Let's get to it. Alright, and let's go ahead and head in. This one's pretty easy to find, it's only right here. Get out, get out. And ta-da! Abandoned icebox. So obviously this is an ice elemental. The darkness one's obviously a dark elemental. I mean, you can tell by the locations what we're running into. Okay, so you can read the sign if you want. Blah, 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 blah. I'm not too concerned. So we need to keep moving. We need to go this way, because obviously you guys I know saw those treasures, as did I. And we need Puka to get them. Sorcery apple. And a strength apple. Yay! This way. Here. And we should start seeing... Anyway, whatever. We gotta make our way through here. We got surprised, it looks like. Regardless of what this enemy is capable of doing, we should be fine. Just hit him with whatever you got. I guess I should have hit him with ice, and I didn't think about that. Though he hit us with firestorm, so that wouldn't make a lot of sense, would it? The XP, and I think this particular enemy gives pretty good XP in Gela too, so if you need money and whatnot, this is a good place to do it. But ice, again, it's not necessary. keep going. And as you can see, there are more chests. Same deal as before. Up and around. You get a lucky card. And another lucky card. 2 delicious lucky cards. And then we get this floor puzzle. Luckily, this floor puzzle is not too bad. You're pretty much just making a star. So, check this out. Blue. To green. To yellow. To red. To black. And then white. Now somebody might say, well, how do you know what the order is? Not really that hard to figure out. Usually your first guess is that, oh, I do the opposites of each other, like fire's weak to ice, so if I start with one of these first, I can figure it out. But it's not entirely the truth. It's actually the nullification. Earth and water do not weaken each other. Fire and lightning are not weak to each other. And then, you know, dark and light are kind of like neutral. Not in this game, but you're out of choices. That's how I figured it out. I don't think that that's even accurate to how I figured it out. I'm sure that that plaque in the first room had a better explanation, but that's the way I ended up figuring it out. But whatever, you know. Anyway, so we get that one, and we gotta walk out of here. No freebies. And we've got one last dungeon to go, which is the one that we were given information about earlier. We'll talk about that when we get there. It was the one that we stayed at Guild Gala to get the information of it for. Did I just walk the wrong way? I'm going the right way. Trying to head out of here. Can't figure which way is the way out. No. Alright, 2 of these guys now, huh? Of course she can't do any magic yet. May as well. I don't use multi-blast very often anyway, so it's not like it's going to hurt me to do it now. Come on, you bastards. Get over with. There we go. See, not too bad. Okay, out we go. Yeah, we'll double check this just to see. Yeah, it actually doesn't give you anything, which is why it's just easier to play. You'll get it through trial and error anyway, because you'll light up when you get the wrong one. The whole puzzle starts over. So it's mostly just trial and error anyway. All right, next stop is Valeria Chateau, because this is the one that the lady in Guild Gallad told us about, which requires some, not excessive travel to get to, but it's not quite where, it's not, you can't get to it through being by Guild Gallad. You can only reach it through these means, which is what you're going to see here. Okay. And what we need to do is we need to follow this rim here, this coral reef or whatever. And we're looking for the first beach we come across, really. It'll be this guy here. And it's on this island. Come on. And there she is. Not hard to find. Not hard to find at all. Shining Garden. This is the last of the 3. Alright. And so we get a puzzle. The sun rises from east and sinks to the west, and then tomorrow comes. To those lost on the road, look back at the path you've come. The land you search for is there. So, what does this mean? Well, really, it has to do with how you walk through these doors. So we're gonna do this. We're gonna enter through the... Whoops! Did I do something wrong? I might have. Great. Now I gotta deal with these 2 idiots. All right. It's not like we have any darkness magic, so I'm just gonna have to do this at Libidum here. That one's down. Look, luckily we move faster than these guys do. So there. So that would be sunrise, sunset. And then the trick to this is that it told us what to do, right? So go back and look at there. Brings us back here. Okay, the truth isn't always right before your eyes. Get away and look across for the truth desired to appear. So what it's asking for, it shows the path, beckoning it. So the riddle is pretty rough. But if you read through the thing and you read all the tiles and everything, actually, you know what? I'll just do it so you can see me do it. Damn it. Just right now. Okay, so what they're telling you to do is this bullshittery. Is it this? No, it was... Okay, the clue was here. Get away and look across for the truth of the desire to be appeared. So, it's... How do I explain this riddle? Is that when something is not able to be seen, you know, what light is when it's drenching down, those are called rays, okay, or a ray in this case. So that's the password. It's a very, very difficult riddle. I know a lot of people who struggle to get it, and I don't blame them. It's not fully clear, okay, and what it is that it's not really a riddle necessarily. It's that you have to stand on the... Okay, it's just easier if I show you. Because it's me dicking with you, if you hadn't figured it out. Okay, let me show you. You climb up on the stairway. And what you're doing is looking at the wall. Do you see the code? It's right there. Ray. And that's what the clue they gave. That's why I actually came up here. That's what this clue gives you. The truth isn't always right before your eyes. Get away and look across for the truth desired will appear. And there it is. It's a riddle. It's a tough riddle because if you're not fully functional to what they're trying to explain, it doesn't make any sense. Which is how I figured it out. You know, actually, I will admit, when I first did this puzzle, it drove me nuts. I was, like, getting aggressively pissed off. And then I got up on the stairs, I went to take a dump, I came back and I saw those letters. I was like, you gotta be shitting me. So I go and try it, and it worked. I was so pissed. I was so furiously pissed. Okay, anyway, so we've got a bunch of new guardians. As far as what skills Tim can learn from them, he can learn quite a few good ones, actually, but they're a little time-consuming. The big thing to know is that they're light elemental, ice elemental, and darkness elemental. They're pretty much what we have not done yet in the grand scheme of spells. You know, it's the few spells that Tim has no access to where, and in all honesty, Lilka doesn't have access to them. He's the only one that has access to light and darkness spells for right now. And so it is very important that Tim learns these spells. There is no exception. You'll regret later if he doesn't learn them. Now, could he learn them on the road? Yeah, he could. He could learn them on the road. My recommendation is to learn the 10 kill spells first. And really, if by then, you may as well just max them all out. You know? And that's what I'm going to spend the next couple, the next 20, 25 minutes doing, because it'll take about 20 minutes to do it. I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to save, and then I'm going to go into town, or I'm going to go right outside of town here and let Tim do a lot of killing. And that'll, you know, that'll get us there. Pretty quick, too. Shouldn't take very long. It should take 4 battles for 10, so 8 battles, maybe 10 battles per levels for him to learn a skill. So let's go ahead and start with something. Let's start with snow. And get her done. So if you didn't watch the last time I went around and fooled around doing this, all you gotta do, walk around outside the town of Maria and just kind of walk into a random battle and accept it. You know, it doesn't take very long. There will be a time later in the game where it does take a little longer, where you have to get like 50 just to learn one spell, and then 90 or 75 to learn the next one. When we get to that juncture, Tim should be about level 50 by then anyway, which means he can do his AoE attacks. When we get to that juncture, I'll show you guys other tricks to getting it learned more quickly. So until then, we'll see you when we come back. Alright, so we're back at the closed-off mine shaft. Our closed mine shaft. This is not a complicated dungeon. There's not much here, but luckily there are some cool things for us to pick up, like another crest, and I believe there's actually an upgrade for Lilka for armor. Other than that, it's just obviously moving on. And there should be an upgrade for Ashley coming up. But like I said, I always use bolt action anyway, so I could care less. Now, why would they be in an empty mine? It begs the question. Alright, come on, come on. Let's survey the place first. It may take a while, but, you know. Okay, we're gonna find some cool things in here anyway, but more importantly, I don't believe there's any items in here. Just checking just to make sure. Okay. Alright, let's head north. And what you want to do is put usually Ashley in the lead here. If these bats hit you, they do about 100 damage to whoever's in the lead section. So just as a heads up. And kerblamo! Simple enough. No, there's nothing else in here. Keep moving. There's only one enemy type in here too, so if you need that for your completion list, go ahead. It's not like I'm getting given a choice. And Tim must fight alone. Great. Luckily, Tim's pretty beefy, especially with his light and black magic. Black gate. And, oh, I might move some of that around. Oh, there is 2 enemy types in here. I didn't know there was a basilisk in here. Last time I played through, I fought the only captors. No, that can't be right. Yeah, whatever. Just shows I don't remember everything vividly. Oh no! Well, that's not good. Luckily, he could just kill him outright with a melee attack. Well, no, maybe not. Yeah, captors kind of suck, if you haven't noticed. Because they do this kind of bullshittery. Luckily, Tim's by himself, so he's not attacking anyone else. Not that that really would matter that much, because he would survive regardless, but if you were a lower level character, he could die pretty quick. So, let's see. Sorry, I actually had to cancel out of the game for a second. A friend of mine had needed a ride before bad things would have happened because he's not trustworthy enough to get himself home and call a cab, so I had to go pick him up. Ooh, wow. I lost a lot of health. That's what happens when you're gone like that and you have poison. Alright. It literally tore him down to the very last bit. Alright. Where was I? I know I'm in the abandoned mine shaft, so... Or closed mine shaft, rather. And there's really just breaking these. There's really, I don't think, anything in any of these boxes. If there is, I don't remember where, but it hasn't shown up yet. So, not gonna worry about it too much. As we go kerblamo to another explosives box there. This dungeon is pretty straightforward, though. You just really gotta get... Ooh, whoa! Okay, let's try this. As I'm forced into a freaking battle. Yay! Oh, and Lilica has to fight alone. Well, isn't that just dandy? Alright, well, you know what? This is going to be a battle. It takes a while, so I'll see you guys when we're done. Okay, it would help if I actually turned the recorder on. So we moved a little further forward. And we got this fucking puzzle. Great. I hate this one a lot. What you have to do is systematically turn the water faucets on and off. So here, we're going to start the thing. We've got to run over here. 2, 3, 4, 5. And it goes on. Next one would be way over here. You got to wait for it to kind of get to the edge there. Up and over. Get it. And it just made it. When it's up to the corner, head over. Get that off. And look at that. It's not as hard as it looks. Actually, it's not as hard as you would think. You just kind of have to know when to get it in kind of the right place. Other than that, it's just, you know, it's fine. You get about 5 to 6 seconds before the water turns off, so it's not a big deal. You just have to take your time through it, you know, and trust that if you take your time through it, you're gonna get through it. But if you rush it, you're gonna prematurely turn the faucets when you don't want them to. Whoa! Oh no! Ah, this room. I hate this room. Come on, come on. Come on, come on, come on. Woohoo! Safe. Okay, there's a save point here. You're probably going to want to use it just because. Not that I probably need it, but if you're lower level than I am, which probably a lot of people are. And I don't blame you because I did some small pieces of grinding here and there. I didn't do a lot. I grinded 3 levels and I grinded all of Tim's spells, and that's literally all the grinding that was done. So, which really is not that much. Okay, and we're gonna grab Shock Slide, which is another arms up type, an arms ammunition type for Ashley. It's not very good. I don't use it very much. I know a lot of people kind of glare when I say, oh, it's not very good, and it's something they really like. Well, you know, it's your game style. It's your preference, you know? And we get another crest, and we're going to take damage for that. I don't think there's... Unless you use Puka, there's no way around it. So, like, that one I took damage. And that one I did not. And that's... Okay, so, yeah, if you're wondering how to get through that unfazed, that's really how. Okay, so the way up is actually over here. Oh, and the ribbon. There we go. And we got another crest, so we'll obviously put that on Lilica later. For faux show. Oh, damn it. I wanted to cancel that battle out. Just for the sake of saving time. Okay, well, fuck it. Basilisk. Actually, we have ice magic, don't we? Yeah. Well, basilics are lizards, and lizards don't like ice, so you know, most lizards and toad-like enemies are weak to ice, so it's a natural reaction to head there. Alright, they're dead. I guess there's 3 enemy types in here. Last time I went through this dungeon, I really only fought the captures. So, and maybe Basilisk, and if I did, I don't recollect it, but that's how insignificant they were. See, when you burn through battles fast like I am, you tend not to care what you were fighting. You only remember the shit that gave you the hardest time. Yeah. It's not about you having a desire. She has a desire to murder you. Mm-hmm. Maybe because you attacked us. Destiny, I'd have no reason to fight you. Yeah. It's always somebody's fucking destiny, you know? Can't people just leave us alone? Just because? Beware. Okay, in this battle, we're going to do a few things just to make sure we have things ready. Not for this battle, but surprisingly for a following battle. So 2 things to consider. Let's take off Lieta Salk. Put on probably Orduyuk. And nobody's got... Okay. So, and make sure that you have the blue anklet available for someone to wear. We'll just leave it at that. That's all you need to know. Nothing more to it. No hidden secrets or anything like that. That's all you need to know. And so for this battle, go ahead and go all out. Bolt action. You know, Lilka attack to get the FP up. Rather not waste a mini carrot in this battle. Not really. But you see that kind of damage is going to happen, which is why you got to get Lilka up to 55 FP as fast as possible. Because if Tim gets hit by that again, he's going down. And if he goes down, it's not like I don't have a high revive item in storage, so I'm not too concerned about it. So let's put up first aid and bolt action, and we'll put heal, regular heal. That should cover Tim's losses completely at 1,046. So that tells us how much he gets for that normally. But he's gonna go down, I think. Oh, he's still hanging in there. Just barely. But we also have Orduyuk, so, you know, he'll be fine. Next round, we'll have Lilika do a melee attack. Yeah, well, Tim heals himself, but we also need to pop, before we forget, we need to pop a lucky card in a melee attack. There we go. That way Lilika can do all the healing, and Tim can go back to using his second-tier elemental attacks. We got it down to a science. Not a great science, but a science nonetheless. And since that's actually healable for Tim, we know Lilka has the stronger direct magic attacks. Yeah, that's debatable, but you know what? We'll figure it out now. We'll use 2 skills that they both can use. We'll use Arctic. Bolt action followed up with a High Freeze. Where is it? There it is. High Freeze, and the other one should be sufficient for this test. So Lilka's gonna do... So she doesn't have a frost spell stronger than this. She does 1535 by Tim's 1422. So and Tim has the strong Lilka has the stronger magic bonuses. So they're about the same. The only difference is that Tim is an AoE. So that does still make Tim technically better, but for boss battles he'll do just fine. You know, he's just as efficient as Lilka is on magic, offensive magic. However, Lilka reigns supreme in single target, and she reigns supreme in resurrection and direct target healing, where Tim spreads his healing amongst all the characters. So you have to deal with that too. Which isn't a problem. It really usually isn't. Specifically with this boss, because this boss doesn't do AoE damage, and really that's where Lilica's weakness is when she has to deal with a boss that has spread damage. As you can see, we took Kanon down pretty quick there. And everybody levels. Yeah. It's totally happening. Anyway, so we just mowed her down. Okay. Believe Conqueror is neither good nor evil, that's right. Oh, he wants to protect all the puppies in the world. Oh my god. Come with us, Kanon, and show me your top cannons. Woo-hoo-hoo. Every time I use that power, the other me inside gets bigger. When I can't avoid harming what I love, I want you to cut both of us down. Oh, look! It's this asshole. Why is he such a jackass? As he's trying to bring the mine down around us. That was his plan. That was his big plan. So now we gotta drag her sorry ass back to Holst. Villains and their really shitty plans, you know? I expect more from you, Judecca. Come on. Jackass. I mean, severe. Well, that's nice of her, I guess. Bionic, huh? She's the $1 million woman. We made her faster, stronger, and with bigger boobs. Just said I needed to get that power, even if it meant giving my own body. Woo! So it looks like now we gotta go deal with Mr. J-Dog. The Big J, as some of us like to call him. You have defenders of justice to protect you, which gives miscreants like me reasons to exist. People of Holst, I have wrong, yes, but these are my accomplices. To what you say, though. Because of who I am, descendant of the sword mages, I do need enemies such as you to defeat. A hero only becomes a hero in battle, which is where I belong. And we are thus thrown into a battle one-on-one with Judecca. How come we keep fighting Judecca one-on-one? Out of curiosity, you know? And it's time for an ass-kicking. And whatnot, you know? Alright, so for Kanon, just go ahead and put the blue anklet on, because one of Judecca's attacks can paralyze you. And go for Lilia Sulk, actually. Either that or Star Row, but it makes more sense to go here, and you'll see why in a moment. In order for her to do any, you know, decent damage, she has no PSS skills. She's got no, she can't use Combine. She can't use Combine, so you're kind of left to her own devices. So here's what you do: counterattack, and I guarantee you, Judecca is going to spend every turn attacking you, and you get more damage for doing the counterattack. Hee. But more importantly, it's going to build up the delicious FP that we need. And it keeps her from taking damage. Really. Except against that, which is the Douglas is that one skill that can cause paralysis. So having the blue anklet on guarantees that you can't get paralyzed. And if you need to, use a big berry, you know, it's not a big deal. Look at that, we're at FP 60. You may as well just max it out. Here, I'll show you what I mean. Like, you may as well max it all the way to 100, and you'll see why. Because you need a lot of FP to play with. She uses special abilities, and the trick is, or maybe it was Sidewinder that paralyzes. I forget. Anyway, the whole point of Kanon having max FP is that you're going to use a lot of her FPs for her Gatling abilities. The more she uses her abilities in combat, and team paired up with Gatling as well, I believe, the more she uses it, the more she'll be able, the faster she'll be able to learn her skills. So the more you use her skills, the more likely you'll learn a new skill. So but you have to use those skills in order to, you know, and using Gatling, I believe, helps. So if you max her out in such a battle such as this, you know, as you can see, we're taking damage. Let's go ahead and pop a big berry. Bring Kanon all the way back up to practically full health. There we go. And now we can start fighting back a little bit. Now that we are all prepped to go here. Okay, we can't use Gatling level 2 because we don't have the right stuff for it. You'll see what... Gatling level 1 only works for these 3 skills, and then Gatling level 2 is for the next 3 skills, and I think Gatling level 3 is for the next 1 or 2 skills. And then Gatling 4 is for the final skill. It makes more... It'll make sense later. Don't bother using God damn it, I can't speak today. Don't bother using a lucky card. There's no reason to use a lucky card in this battle. She's by herself. You're just going to give her a whole bunch of levels that... She's not even going to get a level. She'll get like 1 level, maybe, by herself. But it's not really worth it in the grand scheme of things. Not really. It's better off saving it for a much higher granting battle that everybody benefits from than just one character. And she's not going to benefit all that much anyway. This might actually kill him, too. Yep. Could be my better luck next time. What? I always never understood that when a character actually beats the boss, yet it's still not good enough to have beaten the boss. And Judecca's gone. Sounds like a pretty good deal to me. It's no pain on my bank account is what I say. Alright, so that's all squared away. Because Judecca's kind of a bitch. So, yay. So, your goal with Kanon is... What I like to do with Kanon is I like to keep her in the party in place of Lilka and even Brad, because you need her to learn her skills. And the only way she learns her skills is through using them in battle. So, you have to do it. It's just the best way to do it, you know? Okay. There was an energy pipeline heading into the desert south of Quartley. That's a good question. Or they discovered how to make snow cones in the middle of nowhere. Okay, if the situation warrants, they are to block Odessa's plans. Okay. Destiny given by blood. Aren't you talking about taking it a bit seriously? Aisha Bernadette. Ooh, he knows who she is. You know, if you really want a good example, is really Irving Valeria is like the Nick Fury of this game. I swear, he's literally like Nick Fury. He knows everything going on to like such an extent that there's no way. It's hard to believe that he knows so much. It's just that amazing, and not in a good way. Not in a good way, but it's like he knows what's going on. He knows what everybody's up to, but he's making us do the footwork to confirm and or not confirm what's really going on. It's weird. It's hard. It's like one of those intelligence webs that are just so fucking annoying that you have to try to figure out. It's bad, you know. But at the same time, it's clever. But you know, it reminds me so much, so much of literally of that style of storytelling. The whole where is Quartley? No, I don't want to go to Quartley. I should have gone to Gil-galad. Where is there it is. And that's been my big thing with the game in that respect, is that I kind of always like think and consider things to be a little bit more than what they are. And I look at him as like he's Nick Fury, because good lord, he could be. All right, so now that Kanon's in our party, does she have a tool? She has no tool. She'll get one. But let's go ahead and do crests, because we got a new crest. Let's do level 2, because I think there's only one level 2 spell left. Yeah, we're not gonna get Mighty Body because ups parameters in auto combat. We'll never use auto combat. That's just stupid. Slowing an enemy down, always a good thing. Okay. Arms, reload. In money-wise, I don't think we have that much money to spend on upgrades, so we shouldn't. I don't know if there's any weapons worth upgrading, really, but we'll double check just to make sure. Just makes sense. Yeah, there's nothing for Aisha to learn, or Kanon, if you will. I don't know. I wonder if I should call her Aisha through the whole Let's Play, but by the time this gets posted, I'll be probably stuck calling her Kanon most of the time. Let's go ahead and head up. Now, we gotta give her PSS skills. Now, here's the deal. She is with us so late in the game that we're kind of forced to do it in this way. First, up HP. Up physical defend. Yeah, I know, not physical attack. No, physical defend. And then up magic defend. The reasoning for this is pretty simple. Next will be up magic physical attack, but she needs the magic defense because her HP for the level she's at is actually lower than Lilka's by a little less than 200. So, and you know, Tim is like really close to her, so her HP is very, very low in comparison to everyone else. So this devalidates how good of a character she is because she just doesn't have the levels for HP growth. So we need the HP growth. That's a given, right? So we need the HP growth. She also needs the defenses because of the HP problem. So it's more important to focus on those things than it is to focus on anything else. Now, one thing you might want to notice is in the bottom left-hand corner. Some of you may have noticed that already. What is that, you might wonder? Well, that is a glorious thing. Those yellow dots, as I will show you per example, those yellow dots are treasure. You know those treasures found on the overworld? Yep, we can actually acquire them now. Oops, I'm not standing on top of it. You have to stand pretty much right on top of it, and there it is. So all those overworld items, you wonder what's there? This is the means to find them. Is it a good idea to go around to all the towns and do this now? No. I've never found it to be a good time to do it. The best time to really go out and do a lot of the item finding is when you have full flight transportation, not partial flight, full flight. And the full flight transportation really makes it a lot easier because there's nothing you really can't get except for a few smidgenal things, minute things that you'll have to find tricks to get into even later. But once you have the ability of total flight, which like almost every RPG game has like an airship, so why do I even bother trying to cover it up? Until you have the means of flight that's better than the Valeria Chateau, you will be able to gather these very, very easily. The only ones that are really worth getting are ones that are in a sense on your way somewhere from this point on. So if there's something on the way to where you're going, it does make a lot more sense to get it then than it does to, you know, wait. But it's up to you what you want to do. There's no right or wrong answer to getting these overworld items. I always just tell people get it when it's convenient for you. When you're in the area, you may as well pick it up, If you can't reach it, don't worry about it. You'll be able to reach it later. So, other than that, that's really my suggestion and whatnot. So, on the next episode of Let's Play Wild Arms 2 Second Ignition, we go looking for this place that, is hidden in the desert somewhere. We'll probably pick up some overworld treasures while we're out, too. Just a few easy ones to get to, nothing too fancy. And we will see you there.